How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Ron. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Leaf Green. In the last episode, we defeated Sabrina at the Saffron Gym to grab badge number 6. We also took care of Team Rocket at the Slivco. At least for the main game, we shouldn't have to be worrying about them for quite some time. Although today's episode, we are going to be heading over to Cinnabar Island, so we can go ahead and start grabbing badge number 7. It won't be as straightforward because there are a couple things we are going to be needing to do before we can even attempt to challenge this gym, and we still have to get some levels for our pokes. Not low, but we still have to make sure that we're at least on par with everyone else so that way we can get a good chance and have a good team. Since we are going to be traveling across the sea for what I believe is actually the first time, I don't think we've ever had to cross the sea yet, so this is actually going to be our debut in entering the water. It's a little bit later in the game than I kind of remember, but I guess that's how it is. So, obviously, it's no surprise since we are entering the ocean, there's going to be an abundance of water Pokemon. But luckily, this is going to be... Oh, I can't have them that way. I thought my game just didn't want to work for some reason. And I was going to say, since we're going to be seeing a lot of water-type trainers, it's going to be good for Sora to get some of his training in. I will say we are very close for Horns to get a level up, although I will be honest, we may not see him evolve yet, just because since obviously he can't handle water type moves at all, he's not really going to benefit from any of these battles. Like, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be seeing anything. Most likely until we reach our next landmark, which will be the Pokemon Mansion, which I'll be exploring today. But don't be surprised if we don't finish it today. There's a decent amount to explore there. It's not really a hideout or anything, it's just really a puzzle that we have to get through so we can reach the gym. That's pretty much all that's there for. But there are some good, interesting storylines that are kind of tied in with the Pokemon Mansion. A lot that wasn't really explained in the anime, more in like the Pokemon Generation shorts. If I get to it, I'll go ahead and elaborate a lot more on that. But I do want to make my way over. One thing I probably am going to have to do and cut over is I do want to show you guys one pretty significant place at Cinnabar Island, which is going to be the laboratory. This guy has 6. And I'm pretty sure they're all going to be magic cards. Probably a Gyarados, but all going to be magic cards. There's this. I may have to I may have to cut over towards Pewter City to grab one item that I haven't really mentioned or even brought up just because it isn't important to the story. Of course, if you want your Pokedex complete, then it is going to be vital, but it's not something that we're required to do. So I may have to see if I might end up going there. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. That's not a big deal for us. It's going to most likely be a double battle. I'll just let him leave. I'd rather he gets to level 40. Not all my... I don't want him to be the only one that isn't at level 40. Angel Starmie. I like that combo. Crazy will take care of both, and then obviously... No, don't hit Sword, please. I know you're a great fighting machine, but do not hit your own teammates. Oh yeah, it's starting. I don't think it has Psychic. There's no way this one has Psychic. Alright, there we go. Now everyone's at level 40 plus. I will say we're not too handicapped in terms of levels for our pokes when we go up against our next gym leader. His star Pokemon is going to be a very high level, so I think that's going to be the only precaution I'm going to have to really worry about. But other than that, it's not going to be something I'm going to be too distraught about, because honestly, it's not going to be a big deal. There shouldn't be too many changes. The sea cleanses my body and soul. At least when we head over to the Pokemon Mansion, there's going to be more wild Pokemon than Pokemon trainers. There's not going to be a lot, but I don't think we're going to have enough time just based on the amount of time it's going to take to get over there. And Tentacle. I think that's the first time we're seeing Tentacle too. I won't explain this now, but it will be something I'll touch on later, is after we defeat the 7th gym, that's when we'll see a little bit of a difference in generation in terms of the storyline, but I'll explain a little bit more about that later. I have decided I will go ahead and add some of the Sevi Isles into this Let's Play for really 2 reasons. One is to, of course, add on a little bit more extra track for the gameplay, and that's just something I decided to do recently, so I'm going to go ahead and add it. This might include like 2 more episodes, but at least it'll add some fillers, just because if we skip those, theoretically speaking, or hypothetically speaking, after Gym 7, I would be going straight into Gym 8, and I still want to level up my Pokemon a little bit. It's not going to be like a big jump or anything, but I still want to level them up, and also because you're kind of required to do this part of the section for Sevials after the Gym 7th gym. That obviously was not required in the first gen, obviously because Sevials didn't exist. it's pretty straightforward why that's the case. So just a lot more trains, but I should be finishing up soon. That's just one thing I wanted to touch on. So I will include some of the Sevilla's. I think last episode I kind of mentioned I wasn't going to be doing them, but don't worry, I will include some of it. So just keep a lookout for that. It'll be coming up pretty shortly. I would still say maybe 2 or 3 more episodes in. I'm just glad Sword's getting a lot more of his training in. Almost everyone's complete. Just obviously Horns is the last poke that we need for the puzzle to be complete for our team. Only, I think 2 Razor Leaf is going to do it. That's all I have. I ran out of Razor Leaf PP. Yeah, I ran out of PP. Okay, so I'm going to have to switch. Alright, Starmie versus Starmie. Let's go. None of my moves are going to be effective against it. I loved using Starmie back when I did my Stadium Let's Play because I had Surf and Psychic, obviously, because, you know, why would you not put that on Starmie in this game? But I also had Thunderbolt and Ice Beam for coverage. It just helped a lot. Obviously, you can't do that because Thunderbolt isn't a team you can easily get unless you do the game corner like crazy, and Ice Beam is also a team you cannot get easily unless you do the game corner like crazy. And I just realized that my Venusaur doesn't have any more Razor Leafs. Alright, come on, Jolt. Time for you to shine through. I'm gonna save Jerkin just because for the next gym, surprise, surprise, for those who aren't familiar, it is a Fire-type gym leader. But I do want to save him because I know he's going to be getting a lot more action. And Jolt may not be getting as much in terms of significant battles just because of his typing not being too useful yet. Do I have, okay, I'll just use a... I know I have one. Yeah, I have a lot. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about running out of them. Like, imagine if I did. I don't think it... I can almost guarantee this. I'm pretty sure no one in any Let's Play ever has actually ran out of Ethers and it became a big deal. Maybe in Nuzlocke, but I doubt in this. Like, I kind of doubt it. Which is... Okay, this does bring up a topic that I do want to kind of discuss now because it is a little bit important. Probably at the last episode when I start to do my wrap up of the series and then elaborate on my future plans, I'll speak up on this a lot more. I have been requested to do Nuzlocke and then ROM packs of the Pokemon games just because they bring a bigger significant challenge than the original releases will do. Of course, people make it harder on their own self. That's typically what a Nuzlocke or randomizer means, is you're making it hard on yourself on purpose. I've just been doing it like a standard, basic, legitimate Let's Play just because I've always wanted to do it this way. It's just been something I've always been passionate about and want to do. But I think what I'll do is in the future Let's Plays, I still plan on doing 1 or 2 more legitimate Pokemon playthroughs after this one, but there are still some more games that I want to cover on this channel that I haven't done yet and that I plan to, and I will go ahead and elaborate a lot more on that in the last episode. I don't want to bring too much information on that just because it's not going to be relevant for right now, and then also I will elaborate more on my streaming process because there is something I do want to touch up on that I haven't really previously. Okay, so with that out of the way, when you arrive at Cinnabar Island, yes, it is very small. There's only like 5 buildings here. When you try to enter the gym, it is locked, so obviously you can't enter it. You can't enter the gym right now. There is something that we're going to have to do, but first, before we go ahead and do that, this is the significant landmark I was talking about, and that is the Pokemon Lab. I don't know if it was touched up too much on the anime. I'm a little bit still brushed up on, I'm not too brushed up on that right now, but it's basically just host for a lot of research done by a lot of the people. I think in this room you can actually trade over Pokemon, yeah. For this guy, you can trade over your Raichu for his Electrode, and then that lady, I believe you can trade over your Venonat for Tangela. So, of course, if you want to add to your Pokedex, go ahead and do that. What I do want to go ahead and do real quick is, in the meantime, I will fly over back to Pewter City. This is something I want to do for one last time, so I'm going to cut back to you guys in just a moment. Once I head over to Pewter City, to the location I want to be at, I will be arriving back at Cinnabar Island in just a moment. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Alright, back from that short intermission. Now that I am back at Pewter City, this is the one thing I do want to go ahead and mention to you guys that I was describing earlier, is that there is a house that is blocked by the tree that you can cut down. So of course you can access this as early as after beating Misty and getting cut. But you won't be able to take advantage of it until you reach Cinnabar Island. So there's this gentleman right here, the first scientist that you'll see. In fact, this is actually right behind the counter of Pewter Museum, so you could enter the museum, but you can't really enter everything past it. You're just blocked off from it. Talk to him. Listen, I need to share a secret with you. I think that this chunk of ember contains Pokemon DNA. These shattering scientific breakthroughs in Pokemon could be resurrected from it. Can't speak. Okay. But my colleagues just ignore what I have to say, so I have a favor to ask. I want you to get this examined at the Pokemon Lab someday. Alright, so he gives us the Old Amber. And is actually a key item. And of course, for those who aren't familiar, the Old Amber is of course the fossilized remains of one of the legendary of one of the fossil Pokemon, Aerodactyl. So if we go back to Cinnabar Island now, where the Pokemon laboratory is, this is now where you can actually use it. But first, before I do that, let me actually get my Pokemon back. I actually had to take out Dig back for a small re-debut, just because I don't want to teach any of my Pokemon cut just for this. Alright, let me get him back. Goodbye, Dig. And I also saw that Lapras was there too. I completely forgot I talked to that dude back at the Slipco to get him. I would have loved to have Lapras just because it does know Ice Beam, and I don't have any Pokemon that can learn Ice Beams legitimately other than a team that will get pretty late in the game, honestly. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. That's not the main focus. That's something I'll have to do with off behind the scenes. Going into, I believe, this middle room right here. If I can actually get there. Should be one of the scientists. I think it's this guy. I'll teach you a nifty move. Oh, no, never mind. It's not. It's the metronome. No, I don't want to learn it. Metronome is basically a jack-of-all-trades move. It has the chance of being used as any move in the game. If you're lucky enough to be able to get the move you want in battle, great. But if not, it's just a risky move. It's all about the meaning. Hiya, I'm an important doctor. Yes, very much so indeed. Here, I study rare Pokemon fossils all the time I study. Have you a fossil for me? Oh yeah, I also forgot we have the Helix fossil. Idiot. Okay. So let me go ahead and do the Old Amber first, since that's the one I actually remembered because I was being very stupid. Oh, that is an Old Amber, is it? It is a Pokemon of Aerodactyl, a Pokemon that is already extinct. My resurrection machine will make that Pokemon live again. And so, alright, so you hurry and give me that. Alright, so he gives it to the weird doctor. I take a little time. You go walk through. Alright, so by that, he basically just means pretty much leave the room and then come back in. That's basically all the game needs for you to be able to use to get back to Aerodactyl. Late! Where were you? Your fossil is back to life. It was Aerodactyl, like I think. And now we don't want to give him a nickname, but very great Pokemon indeed. Aerodactyl is a great physical speedster. I forget what that class is called, but he's basically a sweeper. Just a little bit underwhelming in this gen. Just because he doesn't learn certain moves that he can be easily taught later gens, but it's still a great Pokemon. And of course has a Mega Evolution later in the game, so you know, that's to take advantage of. Not here though, it's just slightly under par just because it's a rock typing too. But enough of him. We did get the Helix fossil back at Mount Moon, so let's go ahead and we can get Almanac from him. And then we go ahead and give him. Alright, yeah, we get it, you're a weird guy. Leave the room, come back, that's all we need to do. And then we can go ahead and speak. You late, where were you? Your fossil is back to life. It was an almanac, like I think. Do you want to give him a nickname? Now we're good. And then that's it. Those are pretty much all the fossil Pokemon you can really only get. You could have gotten the Dome fossil to get Kabuto, but you're only allowed one fossil per game, so unless you're able to get him somehow through trade, you're not going to be able to get him this way, so you know, your loss is your loss. But now that we have a lot of that out of the way, I didn't want to go to the gym. I was not trying to do that. We cannot enter the Pokemon Mansion. Well, we could have always, but now we're going to be entering the Cinnabar Island's Pokemon Mansion. Oh, that's just... what did my Pokedex say? I have 36. Worry about that later. Everyone's looking good so far. I'll start off with Horns, because if I play my cards right, we can evolve today, but I have a lot of XP to go through, so if not, that's okay. Alright, Pokemon Mansion. I think this used to be a laboratory, if I'm remembering from the Generation series correctly. I'm not too... I just know there's also some books here in one of these floors that we can go ahead and take a look at. But basically this is just a lot of puzzle uncovering. You can find some pretty nifty wild Pokemon here, so obviously the most notable ones will be the poison duos like Coughing and Grimer. You can find them here. Is this not yeah, it's a trick. Whoa, you startled me, I thought you were a ghost! Boy, how can I be a ghost if you... What's a little boy doing in here? Even though I shouldn't be talking because I'm literally a little boy. Okay, enough of that nonsense though. We don't need to talk about all that. Not really going to be getting a lot of XP from this tonight. And I forgot 2 Intimidates is probably going to mess me up pretty hard. I'll switch over. Like I was talking about, the two noble ones you can get are going to be Weezing. Well, you can't catch Weezing and Muck. There are very rare chances of getting them too as their final evolution, but if you can catch them, then go ahead. It is pretty late in the game to be getting them, so I don't know how beneficial they'll be, but I mean, if you can get them on your team, go ahead. Alright, so there's going to be a lot of switches. These are basically just puzzles that you're going to have to maneuver through as best as you can. I believe it's... I don't know. Okay, so they do close the doors. Make sure you get a lot of repels if you don't want to see the wild Pokemon here. That's kind of why I stocked up on a lot of them before I even started today's video, just because I wanted to make sure. Maybe I have to head up because I'm honestly not. Have to be using them. Like I kind of already mentioned last episode, is I'm probably not going to be finishing up Pokemon Mansion today. And get out. Both places one big one. It is. I think I did get lost. Oh, this is the first training class we're seeing, the Burger. And they are notable for having fire-type Pokemon, so hey, that's going to be better for Horns, but I forgot that Horns is paralyzed. That's probably going to hurt a little bit. I think he's physically defensive. I'm going to have to get rid of that paralysis, so I forgot all about that. Really? Where is he? Where am I supposed to get up here? That's not gonna. Well, it might actually do more than Metal Claw. Yeah. Just because of what I was talking about earlier, Horns does not have great special defense, so a lot of the special moves, even if they're not very effective, will still do a decent amount. That should knock out Charmeleon though. Alright. Oh, the crit. Alright, that guaranteed it. I don't mind that. Alright, we defeated the burglar. We get it, we get it. I don't care what he has to say. Oh no, my bag of blue. Oh, free money. Alright, let me see. Where am I supposed to go? I think the last time I did Pokemon Mansion, I just tried speed throughing it because I was just tired of this. I was getting tired one time and I was just like, let me just get through this. I really don't care what I see. So I'm not gonna lie, I might forget a lot of what I'm supposed to do. Not sure. I think I blocked out. I think I blocked myself off, so that's probably why. I know we're supposed to be heading down towards the basement, because the basement actually has the The reason we need to even be entering Pokemon Mansion in the first place is because the basement is the location for where the key is stored that allows you to enter the gym. So that's kind of why. I'm not heading the right direction, obviously, but there are some trainers here, so I'll take advantage of that. Dude, this place is, like, huge! Dang, he has 9 kills. Alright, so we're seeing a lot of strong fire Pokemon. Luckily, they're not that great, so... I mean, they're not that great, like, battle-wise, but, I mean, it handles rocks, so what do I know? Alright, little by little. Maybe not. Oh, I'm getting very close. I'm getting very close. There's still, I think, a couple more turns. I think I have to unlock this. I forget which switches I'm supposed to actually hit. I think I'm supposed to hit a switch. If I can actually reach it. Alright, and... Alright, oh yeah, this is where you can choose between 2 paths. I think the one with the trainer is the one you want to go. My mentor wants to live here. And I know what happened, he moved out. Like, why you telling me that? Alright, scientist has... But Horns could evolve here. He really can. Kinda hoping for it. Magneton, that could be enough XP. That could be enough. Is that enough? Is that enough? No, this last one will be... Oh, Voltorb, that's definitely enough. I mean, it's probably not going to give me a lot of XP, but that's still enough to evolve it. This could be it, guys. This could be the moment I was waiting for. A critical hit was 2 damage. Alright, good. That's it right there. I was getting suspenseful because I was like, please don't miss. There we go. Now level 42. Raiden? Overwhelming? Well, enough of that because the last Poke on our team, Horns, he's evolving now. This took a lot of patience. This is in fact the only Pokemon I had to do so much patience with, but it's now finally become a great, powerful Rhydon. Yeah, that is amazing to see. He is, oh man, that looks so beautiful. And I think honestly one of the first Pokemon conceived, if I'm remembering my information correctly. I hate his ability. I actually realized his ability weakens his physical defense for better special attack, which actually kind of pisses me off because I'm not really planning on giving it special attacks, but hey, oh, look at that. Good stats. Just very underwhelming moves, but I'll worry about that later. Okay, I do like that as an ending point, but I think forgetting which side, I think I'm supposed to, really don't remember, but I think I'm supposed to fall through that gate, if I'm not wrong. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. I think I was wrong. Okay, so what I'm planning on doing now is just using my last repel. Let me head back to where that floor was, and then I'll probably have to call it a day because I'm already running out. Oh, this was the book. Let me end it right here. Alright, so diary. July 5th, Guyana, South America. A new Pokemon was discovered deep in the jungle. I wonder what they're referring to. I believe they're making a reference to like Mew and Mewtwo, but enough of that. We are going to be calling it a Raptor. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Do hope you enjoyed. So just to recap, of course, now that we've already got 6 badges, our next journey is to go ahead and take on Cinnabar Island's gym leader. Of course, we are going to have to cover a couple of puzzles left, but we should be done in due time. I don't believe we'll have enough time in the next episode to do so, but if we get through the Pokemon Mansion quick enough, I believe we should be able to do it. As long as I head the correct way, which I believe is this path, we should be giving us some ample time to go ahead and do so. But we'll leave it at that for now. Okay, well, I'll worry about that. I'll leave it at that for now. You guys, this has been your boy Ron. And until next time, I'll see you guys back here at the Pokemon Mansion, so we can go ahead and finish it up and start heading over to the seventh gym battle. Grab that 7. I'll see you guys then. Take care.